How good was it to see Josh Kando back out there and making some plays behind the line of scrimmage? And then also Marvin, when he got in the second half, seemed like he was very active as well. Did you feel like that's the defensive line in the second half that you've been hoping to see a little bit?
Yeah, more like it. Just to have Josh back, his name's been around here for a while, but the plays and his production and his availability haven't been there. So it was great to have him back. He had a critical first down play when we were down 14-7 that created a big TFL, had 2 TFLs, had a pressure. So there's a lot left in him, but it was great to have him back. And then, I think Marvin only played 12 plays. We got him back there in the second half and played better in the second half. And, he had a sack in his short time there, but his energy level throughout was positive too.
Next will be Jared Coates from Osceola.
Hey, Coach, they had a lot of success on first down in that game. And what is your philosophy on that down and in that game?
There were some throws that were easier than we wanted them to be. They got into some 12 personnel and just dispersed some tight ends a little bit differently than anticipated. But, first down, you want to be able to hold them to 3 or less to create some second down opportunities. But, some were better than others. In a perfect world, we like to create lost plays on first down, to be honest with you. But when people commit to throwing the football on first downs, obviously that it kind of changes the rhythm of what those lost plays. Because when they're throwing the ball on first down, the ball's probably going to be out in 3 seconds. And there's probably going to be – it's going to be an incomplete or it's going to be a 5 or 6 yard gain. And so we've got to be able to, obviously transition and make sure that, there's certain pressures that on quick game, you're just going to run into a wall because the ball will be out quickly. So there's a balance of making sure that you have those two things, whether it's rolling up to somebody on first down or whether it's getting tight coverage or trying to design something so you don't become rhythmic and just play one thing on first down. But yeah, there were a few, catching throws that you'd like to have back, but at the end of the day, we want enough third downs to give ourselves a better chance.
Adam, there were a couple of guys who I believe made their first appearances of the season, Miko Dotson and DJ Lundy. I know it was limited action, but how did those guys grade out? What did you see from them in their first taste of live action this season?
Yeah, it was good to have both those in the game. DJ is somebody we were really high on, and he finally got healthy and had an opportunity to come in. So we're trying to increase that role with him. He wants to. He's got a lot of ability. To play linebacker as a freshman isn't the easiest spot to get thrown into. But I thought DJ did some good things. We got to keep building on just the inventory that he can handle. I know he got in on offense as well and played fullback. So, and he helped us in the kicking game. So it was good to get DJ in. And then just Miko's been a bright spot for us. Again, just trying to get him healthy so he can be what he is. And, he's got really good ball skill and, he's somebody that we rely on when he is healthy. And, he got in there, gave us some good snaps. We felt him out there for sure.
Hey, Coach, you guys are not getting any shortage of seeing good quarterbacks this year. You got to face another one on Saturday against Ian Book. Can you kind of talk a little bit about what challenges he presents to your defense and just an overall view of the Notre Dame offense?
Yeah, hey, Pat. So, Ian Book's been a 3-year starter. His efficiency numbers are over the roof right now. He's been in that offense now. I know they just changed coordinators, but he's been in the offense and under Coach Kelly now for his career. So you can see that maturation from him. He's got legitimate arm talent. He knows where he's going with the football. He can run away from people on scrambles and on some runs. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the country for sure. And he's got a good surrounding cast right now up front, tight ends, backs, have some big wideouts. So, I think Ian Book's one of the better quarterbacks in the country. We're going to have to do a great job on Saturday night.
Hey, Coach, at times it seems to me like you're playing a softer defense, like kind of a bend but don't break philosophy. Am I anything to that?
No, sir. We would like not to bend at all. Obviously, if we do and the ball starts driving, obviously we got to try and keep the ball out of the end zone. But we want to be aggressive. We want to make sure that it starts up front to make sure that we're creating a new line of scrimmage and creating some plays in the backfield. But it all depends. If we got those three linebackers on the field, there's certain matchups that we need to have. If we're able to put the nickel in the game, then there's certain matchups we're going to have. So, the end of the day, we want to make sure we get the ball stopped as quickly as possible on that early third down. I think on the first drive, I think they got a first down, and then we played better on the next series to get the ball out on third down. We gave up 3 big plays that all led to scores. We'd like to limit those, but really, one was just on a bang one-on-one throw. That we'd like to make a play in the secondary on that play, and then 2 others were just on one run that got outside the edge. So things that we need to fix up, but no. We don't want to be a bend but not break team. We much rather put people in adverse situations early in the downs. We got to work to do a better job with that.
You guys, getting some young guys on the field, as Brendan asked you about earlier, and there's going to be mistakes, obviously. Do you handle those younger players any differently than you would a guy? And I know you guys haven't been here that long, but just knowing that they're going to make mistakes, is there any difference to the approach with a freshman than an older player?
Other than just getting them in the game early, so they have less time to think about it and more time just to react and play. We had Steven Dix and DJ Lundy on the field at the same time Saturday, so we're not babysitting them out there. We feel they're ready, and we get them in the game and we let them roll. And playing time is based off of how they're playing during the game. We always go in with a base plan of like, we're going to get this guy in this series, but then the game kind of takes its own personality based on the number of plays you're playing, based on how the individual's playing, based on the unit, based on where the ball is. Good question. But yeah, other than when they're young, you got to go over everything because there's just not a lot of football history to rely upon. So you're making sure on the sidelines that you're going over every detail that could possibly happen based on what you've seen early in the game. As opposed to a veteran, you can hit the subject a little bit quicker and let them go about for the next series. So, just a little bit more cross T's, dot I's because of the inexperience. But if we're putting them in the game, we think they're ready.
All right, next will be Angela Huzzavandy from Warchant.
Coach, I think stats show there was 58 snaps you guys played on defense. I think Asante was the only one that played more than 35. And is that just a case of you trying to keep bodies fresh, or are you guys just going really specialized and rolling in different packages for certain looks?
No, Aslan, we're just trying to find the best players that we can and put them on the field as much as we can. And so if we're rotating at positions, it's one of two things. Either we feel that they're both good enough to play, or we're still searching for answers at certain spots too. So, everybody that plays in the game, we think has a chance to help us. The guys that play the most are the guys that we think have the best chance to help us the most. And I know that sounds pretty simple, but other than up front, which we force the rotations, in the back seven, we're just trying to find the right combination to execute the best we can. And you're getting guys back in the rotation with Amico, with DJ Lundy. You get guys in and out of the lineups. You just try to find the spark and the right rotations to make sure that we're playing the best we can each series. It's not, I didn't go into it saying, hey, listen, let's make sure we play 25 defensive players in the game. That wasn't really the aim, but that's just how it is right now. And, that's how it goes in practice. And we're trying to carry it on. At one point, you're trying to wind it down to, okay, these are the 4 linebackers that are playing. These are the 6 DBs that are playing. These are the 7 or 8 D linemen that are playing. But, if guys don't create more opportunities for their playing time, we're just going to continue to roll and try and find the right rotation, of guys that we can play the hot hand.
We'll go back to Brennan from Noles.
Hey, Adam, you mentioned in Aslan's in the question to Aslan, or the answer to Aslan's question there about still trying to find answers, searching for answers, whether it's personnel or whatnot. Are the guys in your estimation generally on defense still processing things maybe more than reacting? Is it still a work in progress in that regard with them being comfortable in what you're asking them to do?
I think they've got a good understanding of the calls and how we play. You just go into it, you're going to play opponents, and things aren't always going to be exactly the way that you thought things were going to be, because that's, they call ball plays and things, the pictures change sometimes. So you're just trying to find that continuity. We're constantly trying to work that to make sure the guys are practicing with the right rotation, so that we're in the position you can play off of each other. That's all part of playing good team defense, is getting into that rotation so you feel comfortable with the guys that playing to left and right of you. So, I mean, listen, any guy that we put out there, we feel confident that they're going to go out there and they're going to play the best they can, and they're going to do things the right way. And so we're just putting guys out there that we think can help us. And it's just a big pool of players right now, which, isn't always a negative. You're keeping guys involved, you're keeping guys engaged. You're doing it for the effort level to make sure that's where it needs to be. I wouldn't say it's a negative as far as them not understanding. More of just, we've got a big pool of players, and nobody's really taking the reins at certain positions. It's a rotation until we feel that somebody's taking absolute control of the position. Then we let it roll.
All right, last one. We'll go back to Pat from the Osceola.
Hey, Coach, I believe Jacksonville State had 68 of its 148 or 149 yards in the second half on the last drive. So statistically, it's probably the most dominant half y'all played. How important was that, number one, moving forward with the schedule and based off how you guys have started? And is that a byproduct of the kids just having more time in another game in the system?
Yeah, the team showed a lot of resolve. I mean, to be down the way we were, it was what it was, and we had to respond. So to see them come back and play the way they did at the end of the second quarter through the second half, was obviously a really good response. And, we think it's hopefully a sign of things to come. It's important that we carry that momentum over to tomorrow's practice and continue on that way. But yeah, really proud of the way they played in the second half. And that last drive, it was good. We were able to get Sidney Williams and Tay Williams and Derek McClendon, a chance to go out there, and some other guys, a chance to go out there and, try and make a stop there. And they, obviously the ball drove down the field at the end there, but we're able to stop them there on fourth down from getting in the end zone. So, it was all an opportunity, all the chance to go out there and play, even on that last series. So, but I was proud of the way we played there in the second half.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.